Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I am painting an evening bokeh landscape. So what I did is I sketched out the mountains in the background, and right now I'm painting a layer of portrait tone followed by Naples yellow and blue on top. So for this part I'm using a flat white brush because I find that when you blend these kind of surfaces it tends to work a lot better. And on top I'm mixing sky blue with cobalt blue and a bit of white. So the transition from blue to yellow, if you mix it right away, you'll get this very greenish color in the middle. So what you need to do is put a bit of white in between the yellow and the blue, and then you blend it, and then you'll be able to get this smooth gradient from blue to yellow without a murky color in between. Right now I'm just doing a bit of blending with the wool brush to smoothen it out, but usually for this part you'll kind of have to wait for the paint to dry and then go again with the second layer. So while waiting for the paint to dry, I'm going to work on the landscape below, which is going to be a couple of mountains. And because this is kind of like an evening landscape, I want it to be a bit warm, so I'm painting it in dark brown, Van Dyck brown, mixed with Prussian blue, and in the middle here is going to be like a valley, so I'm painting that in burnt sienna and I'm blending it into the background because I'm going to add lights in the middle later, so it's supposed to kind of illuminate a bit of glow. And in the distance here I'm painting another mountain in cobalt blue mixed with Prussian blue to give it more of a cooler tone so that it looks like it's in a further distance behind. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave the bottom half of the canvas to dry, and I'm going to rework on the top part again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint a second layer of paint, the same colors using a flat white brush, and I'm going to blend it so that the paint is distributed more evenly. And usually it only works best like after you let the paint dry, then you'll be able to see which parts are uneven, and a fresh coat of paint will give it that nice opaque matte finish. I continue to add a bit of white so that the gradient from blue to yellow becomes a bit more smoother, and it's okay if your paint overlaps the mountains and everything, because we're going to touch up the bottom part. Once you're satisfied with the sky, we're going to touch up the bottom half with the same colors again, and just to blend it so it becomes smoother. And I'm going to add a little bit more burnt sienna in the middle to give it that evening glow. And then now we're going to go on this blue mountain over here, and I'm going to add a bit more cobalt blue and make it a little bit lighter. Then next what we're going to do is we're going to blend the edges of the mountains so that it has this blurry look in the background and the lines wouldn't be sharp, so you create this blurry landscape. So I'm going to use a much smaller, finer brush for this. I think this is size 00, and I'm going to mix pink with blue, which is the blue mountain, and I'm going to just kind of blend it in the middle of the sky and the mountain so you get this soft shade. And I'm going to use the paintbrush and just gently go back and forth until it blends as one gradient. So what this process does is that it removes all these sharp lines in the background to give you the illusion of a blurred landscape. So here is an up-close shot. I mix pink with blue and a little bit of white, and then here I'm blending it to soften all these sharp edges, and even for the paint that I've just put over until it becomes one smooth gradient. So this part requires a lot of patience and a lot of blending. What you see is just kind of like snippets of it, because it's just really back and forth motion with the paintbrush, like you're using it like a color pencil to smoothen it out layer by layer until it's completely one gradient. So I do the same thing from the blue mountain to the brown part as well. I mix blue with brown and I blend it in the middle until it becomes blurred as well. Next, I'm going to map out the bokeh circles or bokeh lights. I'm going to paint them in orange yellow, white, orange, and just a few bits of blue circles. So I want them mostly to be in the middle where I painted the burnt sienna, and then I just scatter it around on the side. So what I wanted to do in my head was to capture the view of when you're like overlooking the valley and there's a couple of houses and the lights are just starting to come on as the sun sets. So the next step is to repaint over the bokeh circles that we've just drawn, and we're going to blur them as well. This is a close-up shot, so what I usually do is I take the background color. So for example, this is Van Dyck Brown mixed with Prussian Blue, and then I'm going to mix it with the color of the bokeh, and with a size 000 brush I'm going to blend it around the circle to remove the sharp edge, and then I'm going to soften it. So what you see is a much muted color bokeh compared to when the color is not blended and in its own form. So this part is pretty much the same as we did earlier when we softened the lines of the mountains, but we're just going to apply it to the bokeh circles right now. So just have to remember that if it's white, then you mix white with the background color, which is Van Dyck Brown. If it's yellow, like over here, then you match the background color. So this is another close-up shot, which I think explains it a lot better. So I kind of just mix the background color. I start by the outer edge of the circle, and then I slowly blend it in. This part also requires a lot of patience, and a fine tip brush will work very well with this. So repeat this step for all the bokeh circles that we've drawn and painted earlier until it's all muted and blurred. So the next part is my favorite part. We're going to paint solid bokeh circles over the muted ones. By painting it this way, it kind of gives you the illusion of the light sparkling in the darkness. By painting it this way, it also adds a lot more depth to your bokeh lights, because there'll be two layers instead of one whole row of solid color circles. Then it looks a little bit bland and one-dimensional. So for the solid bokeh circles, we don't want it to be too congested. So what we're doing right now is we're just kind of like sprinkling a few circles over the muted ones in white, orange, dark orange, yellow and blue, which is basically the same colors on the first layer, which we've blurred and muted. So essentially we're using the same colors to paint over the first layer, but instead of painting the whole solid line, we just paint like maybe 3 in one row or 2, and we just kind of scatter it across what we've blurred earlier. Now we're on to the final part, and this is my favorite addition, and as always I cannot resist but add a rose, and this time it's going to be in pink. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of freestyling drawing the rose in portrait tone, and then I'm going to paint over it. So when painting a rose, what I like to do is start from the outer petal, because it can be a bit intimidating, so I like to start from the easiest part, which has the most space to do the shading. And what I do is I start by painting the inner part of the petal in darker pink, and then I blend it to a lighter pink, and on the edges I paint it in white. And then I work my way towards the center of the rose. Because this pink is a little bit translucent, so you'll need a couple of layers to make it completely opaque. So what I'm doing is I just paint the first layer and I get the shading right, and then now I'm going to draw the leaves, and I'm using olive green for this. Then once I paint the leaf and I let the rose dry, then I'll work on it on the second layer. So once that's done, right now I'm working on the second layer, and because the background is a very dark color, so I'll need to touch up on this until it becomes completely opaque. So here's another close-up shot of how I reapply the paint, and you can see how I go from light to dark and I shade the pink. So the shade of pink that I'm using is rose red mixed with portrait tone, and then I move to baby pink, which is just pink with white, and then at the tip of the petal I'm using titanium white. By drawing your rose out first, you can work on it petal by petal, and the shading of each petal will help to make the rose stand out. Next, I'm going to touch up on the leaves as well, and for the stem, I mix a bit of Naples yellow to the olive green, and it is finished. So I hope you find the tutorial useful, and I actually really like this painting. So it's available to purchase on Etsy, the link is in description. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Goodbye!